Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let us all give thanks to our God, the one and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for giving me this chance through the elimination round until this final round. Secondly, let us all give thanks to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May peace be upon him. So my dear friends, we know that the COVID-19 outbreaks makes us quarantining ourselves from other people in order to prevent the virus to spread. And yes, I do know it is really a very challenging thing for us to face and look for the solution to keep on studying as a student. Therefore, the government announced that we should have online class start from March until now. So basically, the meaning of the online class is that learning and having a class through the internet media. So what is this internet media that we are talking about? So there are so many kinds of internet media that we can talk about, but I will only give you 3 examples of it. The first one, we are so familiar with this one, video conferences applications such as Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and etc. These applications will help us to discuss about the subject that we are trying to learn at the time with our teacher and our friends. Second, we have LMS, Learning Management System. This is a kind of one service website for learning activity. In my school, for example, we always use this Moodle application to help us to manage our task and work in one single service. By using this application, the material that we already prepare it for us to learn and study, it'll be more easier for us to access. Third, we have so when it comes to teaching, we connect it to assessment. In this pandemic situation, we are depending on the technology that we got here, right? And in this pandemic situation, we are no longer use paper, or we could say we are paperless. Instead of using paper, now we are using quizzes, Kahoot, and live worksheet, and etc., and many others, right? So that the students can evaluate their comprehension easily, and our teacher can get our score quickly right after the results out. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know that the technology has these advantage sides of it, right? So we have this critical thinking side of us that we get it from point of views, references, and ideas that we search from the internet. And beside that, now we are pressed to be more creative, to make videos, to make posters, to make portfolios. I mean, like, just compare it with before and during this online class. There is so much difference about it, right? In other words, now we are more productive with the technology usage. So if we're talking about the positive sides of the technology, then we must have the negative side of it, right? So what is something bad about the technology? First, we have the duration for us to study are just too much to handle. And yes, it's not all about learning, it's not all about studying, it's not all about school, but it is also about our personal life. It is also about our family. It is also about the environment that we need to take care of. And that's that. Second, we also have this lack of work that give us pressure. Yes, I mean, like a pressure. What about a lack of work? Lack of pressure. Then what about the deadline? More pressure. And that's that. And third, we have our mental health are slowly dying. Yes, just as my previous speech that I told you about, teenagers these days are just struggling with mental illness, and you know that mental illness came from our personal problems. And that's why, back to the first point, that we need to take care of ourselves. And then it is really impossible for teenagers that have mental illness to think about their personal problem and their task at the same time. And so that's why, back to the second point, we need to manage our task. So in my conclusion is that I know that this pandemic is just getting more and more dangerous and difficult for us to learn, and yes, I mean like that. But in this pandemic situation, the technology really does something different if we know how to manage it well. Well, however, technology is a tool. Mr. Nadiem Makarim stated that technology is a method and facility and nothing more. And to top of that lesson process, we need to be we need to have more interactions between students and teachers. And so that's why it is important. It is why we need more essence about the emotions, love, caring, and the warmth of this class. And yeah, I really agree with that statement. And yes, I really hope that this pandemic will over soon. And amin amin ya rabbal alamin. My name is Nabilla Azzahra. Wallahu muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.